everybody. Happy Saturday.
Hello.
Look what I have. I have the lovely Lisa, Kindness and Light, here with us today. So sorry I was late. I got stuck at the grocery store and then I got stuck in traffic and I came running in the house and Lisa's patiently waiting for me backstage.
That's fine. That's fine. We all do that way.
I'm still out of air. So my apologies. I did not mean to be late for everybody. And thank y'all for waiting. But I had to go get food, man. I had like no food in the house. I didn't have anything to drink. So it's like, okay, no, I can't function like that. I need my Coca-Cola.
Yeah, your caffeine.
I need my cold caffeine. In the morning, it's my coffee. And then after I have 2 or 3 mugs of coffee, then I'll drink some water. And then by mid-afternoon, I flip to the Coca-Cola so that I can get kind of recharged.
Yeah.
Get that sugar rush, get going. But I just bought me a great big bag of apples. So I was like, oh, now I got me some treats. And so hi, Colleen. Colleen's here. Let's see. Jackie's here. Wendy's here. Colleen's here. Joanne is here. Who else we got here? Is that it? That's it for right now. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Most of y'all know
Lisa. How do I push the comments on here? That's okay. I like doing that because I don't really see the comments.
If you look at the right side of your, board,
and you have like the audience
thing for private or just comments.
Okay.
And click on that and it'll pop up the chat.
Aha! Now I see you. Thank you.
There you go. And so.
Hello. How is everybody today?
Now we can see what everybody's saying. And I continue to catch my breath.
That's fine.
Why don't you tell us what your channel is all about, what your goal is, what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And all of that cool music you play on Facebook that I just love. Because that's my channel.
Thank you very much. My channel is called Kindness and Light. And it's on YouTube, of course. And I'm kind of like a free-for-all for everything. I started out, a lot of my tarot friends kept on saying, get a channel. And so I did that, but there's so many people more qualified than I am, like Sherry and just a ton of you guys out there that's more qualified than me in the tarot world. So it's kind of hard to find a slot to get into a place, like I'm not stepping on anybody else's toes or anything for lives. So I've been doing a lot of videos.
Well, just to let you know, on the lives, I originally tried to do that too, not step on toes but there's so many out there now that you just, it's just, at this point is like whenever the guest is available, then that's when I go on and I don't worry about it,
Yeah.
And if there's somebody coming on another channel that I want to watch, then I just save it and I watch it after the fact. So
yeah, it's like I was
telling Andy and hi,
hello. It's hard to find, time slots to go on live. And like I said, I didn't really want to step on anybody's toes, but there's so many of you guys that I think I've got over 30 of people subscribed to tarot, just tarot readers and stuff that do lives. And I am still at that level where I'm scared kind of to talk to people about tarot because of the fact that I could be wrong or it could be this or it could be that. And I was on another channel the other day. And sometimes I will slip in the chat room and tell them certain things, like if I see something. And the gentleman kind of scolded me and said, don't put that on me. And it's like, okay, fine. And then, of course, the Virgo in me was so, all right, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to tell you exactly what time that was, and everything in your video. So I did that in his comments. But yeah, it upset me because I always second guess myself to think that, oh man, did I say something wrong or was I wrong or anything? Yeah. And sometimes people take the tarot cards really, really seriously. And I'm glad that you guys all say, Please don't.
You're
It's
absolutely right, Colleen.
yes. It's all for entertainment purposes. Don't base your life on a tarot card reader. I'm sorry to say that, because there is so many wonderful people who are in tarot.
No, but
There's so many people who are psychic, and they say things like that. I do have some psychic powers for the fact that I can feel the way they passed away, but I haven't really accomplished, the seeing and the hearing of them speaking. I can just feel the way they feel. Sometimes I feel the way they died, like if they had a head injury or something like that. I've come pinpointed everything.
My mediumship skills are just starting to wake up, and it's still freaky for me because
yes,
a lot of times it's like crickets. I don't hear or know anything. A lot of times it's like just boom, the thoughts in my head.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll hear them talk to me.
Yes, exactly.
But it's still kind of weird because I'm not used to that yet. And so
yes,
as I started reading and started doing more and actually getting in here and doing stuff, my gifts started opening up more and more and more. And so I'm still every day I never know what's going to come out of the woodwork and surprise me and say, hello, now you got me to deal with. So
when my husband got sick with ALS, and I know a lot of you probably heard this story before, but he told me he would talk to people every night as soon as his eyes closed. And we even had the minister come in, and she's like, oh yes, when you're closer to death, then the veil is thinner and they see more. And then he started talking to him when his eyes were open and stuff like that towards the end. But he told me I was the antenna. And so I was like receiving everybody, but I couldn't hear him. And he was like the TV that broadcasted it out. And I said, don't come back and scare me. After you pass away, don't come back and scare me. So I think that's like you said, I'm scared to the point where I kind of shut that door off, shut that area off where I don't want to see them. But I feel I'm really strong. And being an empath, I think that's a big thing. Like I said, I can feel if they had a head injury or if they had a heart attack, my heart starts racing, or coughing. That's what the incident was.
Mandy's all the way over in London. So she's what? Hello. This is almost late night for you. What you doing up this late, girl?
Yes, 10 o'clock there. And so is Jackie and them. So yeah, it's just, I was scared, and I think I shut it off for a long time. And then when the pandemic came on, I started playing music on Facebook, and it was started out with like 11 songs a day. And boy, that was hard. And I didn't really have a theme or anything going on. But I just played songs and songs and songs. And that kept me in touch with my friends from all over the world. I have friends from all over the world. And I started on a channel called the Rewind. And we started listening to music from the 80s and stuff like that. And I grew and had so many new friends and everything, that I met. And like I said, I've known people from the UK, Australia, Ireland.
Well, I do now. I mean, it's kind of weird.
It's wonderful. And in fact, my best friend is from Ireland, and I've never met her in person or anything. We talk, we do this.
I've met 3 readers in person in real life. I met Jen from Jen's World Tarot, and Susan Lynn, psychic Susan Lynn. Susan Lynn Psychic Medium, I think is how she has her title channel. And they had a year ago Christmas, they had gone to, Jen had come down from Washington State, Oregon, wherever it was, she lived up north. And she had come down to Houston, which is where Susan lives. And then from there, they drove to New Orleans for Jen's birthday, to have a birthday celebration. And they did like a little mini conference in the process.
Yeah.
And they have to go right through my city to get to New Orleans and back again to Houston. So, because we're right on the interstate. And so on their way back to Houston, they stopped off here, and we went and ate met, ate lunch, and so that was really cool. And
Yeah.
then and they're both just the sweetest people in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely lovely, lovely ladies.
Yeah.
And Jen is the best hugger. She's one of those kind of people that when she hugs you, she hugs you. I
You
mean,
can
it's like
feel it.
you
Your
feel it.
hug.
It's an all body
Yeah.
hug. You know, some people hug and they just, you know, and she, no, man, she's a bear hugger. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God,
That's
I
great.
forgot what that felt like.
That's wonderful. And see,
And then,
that's what my show is about too. It's about how you don't really realize it until you get into chat rooms and things like this, that there's so many people that have the similar things that's going on in our
yeah,
lives. Like I've met so many widows.
the first 6 months I was in after I found this community, I never chatted. I never talked to anybody. I just
Mhm.
watched and listened
Mhm.
because I kept waiting for the claws to come out.
Yeah.
It was like these
Yes.
people can't be this nice
Exactly.
all the time to
Yeah.
everybody.
Exactly.
Nobody bad mouths anybody.
Mhm.
I just, in my experience, people will appear friendly and then
Mhm.
the claws come out after a
Yep.
little while.
And see,
And
that's
I
where the
just kept
kindness
waiting
comes
for it.
in.
It
Why
never
should
happened.
people treat the people the way they want to be treated? You know,
Exactly.
it's as simple as that. It's just
That's how I was raised. You
kindness.
know?
Say
My
hello.
mother always taught us we wear our pants. We put our pants on one leg at a time like everybody else.
Exactly. It doesn't matter
So
how
they're
much
no
you have
better
to
than
be
me.
humble.
They're no better
You
than
have to
us.
be humble.
And and then I met Pegasus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've seen her in chat.
Mm-hmm.
She had come down. She's got family in Louisiana, and she had come down to visit. And she and her nephew drove into town to come and see me. And we went out and I went and took her to a Cajun restaurant and
Yeah.
went and hung out. And she took a bunch of pictures, and I've posted some, but I want to put them in like a collage to make like a little mini movie
Mm-hmm.
and put them up. So
Yeah.
we
That
went
would be
over to the
nice.
swamp and took pictures in the swamp. So
Mm-hmm. I think that would be, if one of us ever wins the lottery, I think we should all have like a reunion or something, you know.
oh
Gather
yeah,
all
the great
together
big
right
meeting.
somewhere, and do it all.
One of us wins the lottery and they buy tickets for everybody else to come in, you know.
Yeah,
That way it
exactly.
doesn't cost anybody any money.
It just that would be something that I'd like to do, but like I said, I'm a widow. I live
Yeah.
monthly
I live
checks, you
paycheck to
know.
paycheck
I'm
like everybody else. Yeah.
But yeah, I just
I mean, I'm not making any money off of this, at least not yet. And
yeah.
it's not the goal. I didn't
Yeah.
start doing this thinking, ooh, I can turn
I
this
can
into
really
a
turn it
moneymaker and
into
not
big
work.
bucks. Mm-hmm.
That's not how I went. I went into it when I started doing it because it felt like a calling.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
when I
that's
started
what's
doing
same
it, it
way
was
with
like
me.
coming home. You know, I mean, it was like, wow.
That's
Okay.
exactly the same way with me. So that's what my channel is kind of like. It's for everyday people who don't wear makeup, who like to sit in their pajamas and talk about things that I like to talk about. You know, next week I'm going to do a thing on haunted dolls, and I mean, I just love scary stuff. You know, I'm into horror movies and things like that.
I
But it's a
used to
group
watch
of
horror
women.
movies, and then they turned into blood and guts hatchet movies, and it's like I don't want to watch that.
No.
I want to watch.
I don't like
I want to
slasher
watch
movies.
suspense.
Yes.
My imagination can make what's going to happen in that room a lot worse than what they can show me. But I don't want to see blood squirt across the room. You know, it's just not my thing.
I'm into zombies, but yeah,
zombies are cool. Yeah.
I don't have like my cat Mo Cherie Mondays, and there's so many people who have cat videos out, you know, and it's like they're making. I'm not saying like you. I'm not in it for the money, but it's just so much similar things, you know.
Well, I figure
together,
if I can keep growing to the point that I can make money off of it, enough to match my salary, then when I retire,
yeah,
at least I know I've got that extra income coming in, and that'll be fantastic.
Exactly.
If I don't do it, that's okay too, because that's not why I'm doing this. I just want to help people.
And I think 98% of us that do start channels like that do want to help people.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. If I could just make somebody smile today because I made a funny face or posted a video about haunted dolls or
I can't do dolls.
no, I can't do dolls either. I have my Mrs.
Dolls
Bean
freak
doll.
me out.
They do. And Crack in the Box's mom, Pixie, she called me the other day and we talked, and because I asked her about, because she's a doll collector and she collects those scary dolls, I mean, really scary dolls.
I had a friend in high school that she had an aunt that like traveled the world. She came from a more well-to-do family than me. And she had dolls from around the world, like big giant dolls that her aunt would send her. Victorian dolls and Indian dolls and African dolls, and all these different cultures. Wherever the aunt was going, she would get a doll from that culture and send it to my friend. And she had a huge doll collection, and I just remember I would get really weirded out when we would go in her room because all those eyes staring at me.
Yes, exactly. And we love our dolls so much when we're kids that there's got to be some kind of spiritual connection.
I had one doll as a kid. It was a little baby doll when I was like little bitty. And my mother told me the first thing I did was I got hold of a pair of scissors and I cut all the hair off and named it Little Joe. From Bonanza. And because I was in love with Little Joe. And so my mother saved that doll. And when my son was born, she took it out of storage and she brought it to him and said, here's Little Joe. And my husband at first was like, "You're giving him a doll?" And she was like, "Well, why not? He's got to learn how to love and hold a baby. Just like you did, And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess you're right."
Exactly.
Hi, Peg. Hi, Esther.
Hello, everybody. That's what Pixie was telling me about. Her daughter got a doll for her birthday, and as soon as they opened it up, it was one of those newborn dolls. Have you ever seen one of those? Now, those are scary. I mean,
they look scary. They look real.
Exactly real. Yes, exactly real. She said this one had eyelashes, everything. The mouth and everything was open. It just scared this poor little girl so much. As soon as they opened the box, she started crying. No way they wanted that in that house. And Pixie was telling me that they had this fear, like an overwhelming darkness or whatever. So she put it back in the box and she smudged it and she put around a circle of salt. And then she put, the pentagram type stuff over the top of it because she believes in the spiritualism too, really strong. And she said they kept it there for like 4 or 5 months. Then she finally took it out again. And it was dressed as a little girl, but she kept on sensing that it was a boy. It's a boy, it's a boy. So she put boy clothes on it and she named it Sebastian. And then she took it out of the box and then she smudged it again real good with the mouth and nose, everything. And she said it seemed like it just lifted. I mean, she said that the rest of the family is still scared of it. They don't go near it, but she'll pick it up once in a while and cradle it, and she bought it a little cradle and stuff. But
when I was a little girl, I mean, other than Little Joe, I didn't have dolls. When I got a little older, I had Barbie dolls, but that was about it. But I had stuff like a big giant stuffed Lassie dog and big teddy bears and that kind of thing. I wanted something soft.
That's true too. And that's what my subject about haunted dolls is next Friday. It's like I was saying, we love these pets or animals, stuffed animals, dolls, everything. And then they come out with a Toy Story that the animals come to life. The toys come to life. And it's like, wow, that kind of, it's a kind of freak.
Yeah. Well, Mandy just put that. She keeps her toys outside of the bedroom door because she dreamt they came alive.
Yes, that's kind of a scary thought about it all. But
I just never got into dolls or girly stuff when I was little. I was such a tomboy. And so I just didn't really have dolls. I mean, somebody would give me a doll and it would usually get shoved under the bed and that was it. I didn't think about it again. I was more interested in playing with the Tonka trucks and stuff, But
Mine was the Mrs. Beasley doll. Do you remember that from Family
yes,
Affair?
yes,
And
I
I
do.
still have her, and she's 53 years old, I think,
Oh, wow.
54 years old. But I'll tell you what, she's like a Wednesday Adam doll. All I have is her head. I had to make a new body for her because I loved her so much. And my older siblings would torture me with her, steal her away and pull on her and stuff like that. But yeah, I have that doll and just her head, and I made a new body for her. I just went out and bought baby clothes for her and stuff like that and dressed her up. And I still have her, but yeah, she's like 50 some years old. And it is, hello, Peg. It's weird how we grow attached to these things. And yes, you got to think about it. So if you go secondhand stores and pick up a doll or something like
Well,
that,
it's like, especially here in the South, it's when
voodoo
somebody
kind of-
dies,
yes.
they cover all the mirrors
Mm-hmm.
so that the spirit won't go into the mirror.
Yep,
you know?
exactly. Or the soul. Yes, exactly.
So, and
Yeah,
that's
that is
a
something on
very
my bucket
stubborn.
list. That is something on my bucket list to come and see you. Go
Oh,
down in
good.
that area. I would love to go see where
I love to go to the graveyards, especially the older graveyards, because down here, because we're at or below sea level,
they're
you
all
start
above.
digging and you hit water. I mean,
Yeah.
6 inches down, you got water coming up.
Mhm.
We live in a friggin' swamp. What do you
Yep.
expect?
Yep.
And so back in the day, they would put coffins inside of concrete, like mausoleums,
Mm-hmm.
above the ground. So you have all these graves that are above the ground.
Yes.
Nowadays, they put the concrete thing down into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They found, that they weighted it enough that it kind of stays down there.
Yeah.
And then the coffin goes in that. But a lot of people still bury people above the ground here because, because the ground is just too full of water. When Katrina came through, Colleen and Cleo and I were talking about this last night. When Katrina came through and hit all along, of course, it Louisiana, Mississippi got it really bad.
Mm-hmm.
They had several of the older graveyards that were right on the coast, like across the street from the beach. You have the beach, you have the highway, then you have where people lived. So the day after, they were going out and finding the beach littered with busted up coffins and body parts and skeletons, and nobody knew who went with what, and because it just the amount of water and everything just flushed everything up. I know my father-in-law and his first wife, my late husband's mother, they're both buried like right there in Mississippi. And the first thing I did, after calling to make sure everybody was okay, was, did the bodies come up? Or are they still where they belong? And one of my sister-in-laws I talked to, she said, no, they stayed in the ground where they belong. She said they didn't come up. So I said, oh, good.
I wonder, I think it's because they put the cement in it now. You have to have that cement type thing. And it's just, I don't know. It's weird. I remember going to like a couple weeks ago where we were talking about.
It used to be on gravestones or tombstones.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a name and dates.
Mm-hmm.
They would write stuff about the person on the gravestone.
Yeah.
And I love to go walk through old graveyards because I just like to see what's written on the headstones, because there's some really interesting things that people put on them.
Put on there.
Some of them, it's like you feel like they're going, I get the last word. And they put some really wrong stuff.
Exactly.
And other people, you could tell this was someone that was truly loved and cherished because of how they phrase what's on that headstone. Nowadays, they don't really do that. They'll do like, father, husband, whatever, or mother, daughter, that kind of thing. They don't really tell the story, but
they don't have the statues anymore on a lot of them, and they don't.
Yeah, no.
Some of them don't even allow raised.
Most of them, the gravestones are actually flush in the ground.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
The lawn people don't want to have to deal with mowing around them. They just want to be able to run their mower right over the top and be done with it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to cremation now for the sense
my
of
mother
the
was
fact that,
cremated.
yes,
She's
that's
sitting approximately 25 feet this way
mhm,
in the living room.
yeah.
I'm in half of the living room, and then the living room is the other half. Um, but we have her like a little altar. Both of we, I got two. I found two hand carved rosewood boxes
Ooh,
that I bought online, and one for me and one for my brother, and got plaque put on it with her name and everything. And
mhm,
we just split the ashes in half,
yeah,
put half in one box and half in the other box, and we got some pictures up there with it,
yeah.
and so that
Kind of like their altar type thing.
yeah, it's like an ancestral
Mhm,
altar. I
yeah,
mean,
mhm.
she's there and she's still in charge.
Yeah, like De La
She's
Morte.
still around.
That's what you do on De La Morte, the Day of the
Um,
Dead. So that's what they do is they put
I
out
cat.
their ashes
My
or
mom
something.
used to do. She would kind of do like a combination between a whistle and a hum,
Mhm,
just kind of,
mhm.
this and just whatever music popped in her head
Yeah,
when she was doing busy work.
yep,
She would make that sound. It's not something I ever did, but after she died, I've caught myself numerous times over the years
yeah,
singing like that,
mhm,
and it just when
mhm,
I catch myself, it's like, oh, okay, mom, what do you want? What do you want me to know?
mhm.
It's like, tell me what you want.
See,
The
getting back
first
to the
time I
psychic
asked the
part, that's
reader,
what you get. You just get hits, like, once in a
yeah,
while, and you gotta let it out, or if you keep the hits in, it kind of
yeah,
affects you to the point where you have to sleep for a long time, to
yeah.
get it
The
out of
first time I asked a reader for like a little mini reading.
you.
It was Susan Lynn and
Mhm,
Allie, back when they first started doing a show together. They used to do one every weekend, and my name came up, and I just said, are there any messages from my mom? She passed away in
mhm.
2019, and I gave her a name, and that's all I said. And at that time, most people didn't know how my mother had died,
Yes.
and she had dementia, severe dementia,
Mhm.
and they popped it up on the screen, and okay, we're going to read it before Susan could open her mouth. And this was back when Allie was still saying, no, I'm not psychic, I'm not
Mhm.
psychic, I'm not psychic. Susan kept telling her, yeah, you are. But they popped up the thing on the scroll, and before before Susan could even draw breath to answer, do you have any messages, Allie looked up and said, she remembers everything. She said to tell you she remembers everything now. And that was just like,
Yeah.
whoa. I mean, that hit me like a brick wall, because how would you know that would be
Yeah.
the the one thing someone could say to me
Yeah.
that I knew they were hearing her, you know?
Exactly.
And so yeah, that was
That's what, when I went to a psychic after my husband passed away, that's what she kind of told me, that he can walk now. Why does he keep on telling me that he can walk now? They didn't know what it was. And in ALS, you can't walk towards, the end. You lose your muscles and stuff and your coordination. But
yeah.
that's what
That's cool, Mandy. Mandy lives next door to a graveyard.
I
They're
know.
very quiet neighbors, I bet. So it's
Yeah, there
better
you
than
go.
living next door to a frat house, I'll tell you. Yeah.
So where you live in front of a frat house?
No,
Next.
I work at a university, and the apartment complex where I live, probably 80% of the people that live in this complex are all college kids.
College kids.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like being in a frat
Ooh,
house.
cougar time, Sherry. Cougar time.
Oh my
Cougar
goodness,
time.
yeah, right. Hi, cat mama,
I get, Mama.
meowie.
Um,
And
that's what when I took my cat to the vet. I know that I'm kind of going off on things, but when I took cat to the vet, there was this handsome veterinarian, and he was got to be younger than my son, and I just like could not stop looking at him and talking to him, and then he started talking to me, and he took my cat Moshe from me and stuff, and all I could think of was my son's gonna be 39 next week, and it's like all I can think of is some old lady looking at him and talking to him like that, thinking those thoughts.
My son just turned 39 in February.
So it's like
That's hard to believe. He still looks like he's 20. I mean,
that's exactly what people keep on saying about him too. It's like they even card him and stuff. Oh, we thought you were in your 20s. It's like, no, he's gonna be 39.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, good genes, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, I know sometimes, I mean, I look in the mirror and think I look my age, but I have people who say, no, you're not that old. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'll be 62 in June, man. I mean, this is the real me.
But yeah, that's why I put it in my channel. I wanted people to see the real me. And if you don't like me the way I look or whatever, I'm sorry, But
well, I wear makeup for me. I don't wear it for anybody else. I started doing full makeup because I get really washed out looking on the camera.
See, that's what I feel like I'm a ghost or something now. But I'm always really pale because I'm
waiting for my new glasses to come in. This is a pain in the butt. I can't see anything. But yeah, I mean, I have my time. I mean, there's times I've been online when I didn't have a lick of makeup on, and just like, you're gonna have to just take it as it is today.
I want people to feel like they're sitting in my living room and talking to me, Let's just chat about whatever you want to chat about. I'm trying to give them some interesting topics. I'm trying to give them at least 3 videos a week. And like I said, Monday's going to be most Shari Mondays. Baby face like his mom. There you go.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Every time I drink my Coke, I hear in my head saying, that's sugar. Get rid of sugar.
I'm type 2 diabetic.
She gave me some really good advice on doing some stuff to kind of help my back.
Yeah.
With my core strength. So I've been doing it every day, Allison. I've been very good.
If you can see, I have pillows behind my back because I have spinal stenosis and arthritis from head to toe. So,
well, I have an old injury and I have degenerative disc disease.
So do I.
And my pain management doctor that I see every 3 months, last month when I went in for my visit, he said, you know what? He said, it's been a while since we've had any recent film work on you. Let's go take some x-rays.
Yeah.
And then he come back into the room like 20 minutes after we did the x-rays. And he just kind of shook his head. He said, don't let anybody tell you you're not feeling pain. He says, I don't know how you're walking across the room. Yeah,
that's what
much less working 10 hours a day, 4 days a week,
Yeah.
And he said the 2 bottom lumbar vertebrae, there's no disc left. It's gone. Yeah. And then the disc between the lowest lumbar and the sacral vertebrae is almost completely gone.
Yeah.
So I saw the orthopedic surgeon this week, and he scheduled an MRI. So I go in to get an MRI this Thursday.
Yeah.
And get that done and see what we see, because the orthopedic surgeon, who was my original doctor when I got hurt back in 1999, I'm so glad he was still in the same group.
Yeah.
Same with my pain management doctor. That's how long I've known both of them.
Yeah.
When I moved back home, my pain management doctor was the first phone call I made. Oh, thank God you're still here. Will you take me back?
Yeah, please take me.
Like, yes, ma'am.
I always say somebody's going to have to scoop my brain out and put me in a supermodel's body, because there is nothing you can take from my body from now on. Because like I said, I've got arthritis from my head to my toe. And then when I had cancer, I was talking to Miss Tara D, and that's what she said, that she had neuropathy from her treatment.
Thank you, Cat Mama. You got a new subscriber. Yay!
But yeah, she said that she had neuropathy, and it was a side effect of the chemo and stuff that she had taken. And I said, honey, I've had that too. I got it in my hand. I got it in
I've got a few friends. There's a couple of readers on here as well that have fibromyalgia.
See, I have that too.
And that's that is excruciatingly painful.
It is very
Um,
painful. And
I've
what I
got
always say,
arthritis in my fingers, but
mhm,
I think it's just because I've always used my fingers. I played piano when I
yeah,
was a teenager, and then my adult life, I sit in front of a keyboard or on a typewriter.
Mandy,
I
yeah,
type all day. So, um,
yeah.
but
It's weird because when I say I've
got
got
another one.
hello, thank
Yay!
you. Um, I always say I'm on a 3 pill a day, and when I say 3 pill a day, it's like you don't want anything to touch you. You got to have that cushioning behind you because it's
Yeah.
so painful. And you can feel every little crease in the pillows and stuff or in the sheets and stuff. But I put pillows behind my back and I put them under my arms because I do have the fibromyalgia and it's
Yeah.
like
I've
an
got
arthritis
special
in
cushion
your
things on my
muscles.
chair arms, so they're
Yeah.
like a 2-inch thick cushion. So when I
Uh-huh.
set my arms down,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't irritate.
Mm-hmm.
I know I asked my boss a couple of months ago. I said, "Do you think maybe we could invest in getting me a better office chair, something that's going to make it more comfortable for me, especially if they decide back surgery is the
Mm-hmm.
answer.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to sit in the damn chair when I come back."
Yeah.
Um, and he said, "Well, let's see if we can get the state to pay for it because I'm civil service.
Yeah.
We work for the state." And so I had to call HR because technically the state won't pay for things like that. If you want a chair or something, you pay for it yourself. I'm like, I don't have the money for that. So
Yeah.
I called the disabilities office at HR, and they were like, "Yeah, we can fill out a form, and
Mm-hmm.
if they approve it,
Yeah.
then we'll send you to a local office supply place that they're contracted with."
Yeah.
And I went yesterday after work. I went and got fitted for a chair. It's like a $500
Awesome.
chair. It's like, Jesus,
Awesome.
man, $500 for a
You
damn
better be
chair.
able to take it with you whenever
I
you
sat in that chair and it was like, okay, now I know why you're spending, why it costs so much. It
Yeah.
was like a glove. It just fit
Now
perfect.
your insurance will cover that, right? Your insurance will cover
Not
it.
the insurance, just this. It'll be
Just be
at
for the
work.
state. Yeah.
So
The
it'll
work.
just be state funds. Our department funds will be able to cover it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
there's this process. It's like I got fitted. We found the right chair that works for
mhm.
me, and then they'll do up a quote because it's one of the contracted companies.
Mhm.
They give special prices, so
Yeah.
we won't necessarily pay what just somebody walking in off the street would pay
Yeah.
for the same chair. Um, they'll get a state rate on it, and that'll get turned in. And if that gets approved, then it goes through the purchasing department, who will then order it, and then it'll get delivered, and then they'll set it up and fix it,
Yeah.
and make sure all the adjustments are where I want them, and that kind of thing. So it's a
Well, I'll
fairly
tell you,
involved process from what I'm learning.
we
And
work, I've worked since I was 14. My husband worked when he was 14. And then when he got sick, they automatically dropped everything on us. But yeah, we got
yeah,
a lot of stuff. And that's what my doctor said. Don't you worry about anything you need for him. We'll get it for him, whatever he needs.
yeah. I
So,
mean, I didn't have insurance. I never had insurance up until I moved to Arizona
yeah.
and started working for the testing lab that I worked with. And it was the first time I ever had real health insurance that
Yeah.
actually did something.
Mhm.
And so I was able to start kind of getting all my other issues, finding out what it was and getting things taken care of. And
Exactly.
got my first surgery when they did the fusion in my neck. That was done in Arizona.
What are
I
you
mean,
supposed to do if you
I have
didn't have
4
it?
vertebrae that are fused in my neck. I
Yeah.
was still riding 6 screws holding my head up. So,
Yeah.
but
Pardon.
it's
What are you supposed to do if people don't have insurance for all of that? You just have to live with the pain, I guess.
yeah.
It's scary.
Or they wait till they get so sick or it gets so bad they go to the emergency room, which is why it costs $50 for a Tylenol at the hospital because they got to come up with cover those costs somewhere.
Thank goodness for Obamacare.
Hi, Allison.
That.
And so,
Hi, Allison.
night, Mandy. Oh, I thought you said bye. Never mind. Excuse me. Um,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
it's scary nowadays. My
it's,
son
it's
just went to
to get
college.
people
My
to
husband got
understand that if they paid a little extra on their taxes so that everybody has health care,
Mhm,
then it's not only cheaper for those of us paying insurance
mhm,
or paying taxes,
mhm.
but everybody's covered and prices come down
Yeah.
because now people are able to do preventative
Yes.
medicine and maintenance on
Yes.
themselves. When they
Exactly.
first start feeling weird or something doesn't feel right, they can go to the doctor and find out
Mhm.
what it is, get it
Yeah.
taken care of for a fraction of what it would cost if they wait until they're so doggone sick that they have to go to
Mhm.
the emergency room, where
Yeah.
it's going to cost 10 times as much money
Yeah.
to deal with the issue if the
Yeah.
issue could even be dealt with at that point. Um,
That's what's scary about things. It's just like I said, I'm so glad that Obamacare came out and Biden's still fighting for stuff. And um,
and
I'm
and
type 2 diabetic and I'm blessed with all of my
me too.
health insurance and stuff. And so I have to, I mean, I take at least 20 some pills a
Yeah,
day doses with my eye drops for glaucoma from my body's just falling apart, everybody. you know, and people look at me and they
I have
say, hey,
14
you don't
pills a
look like
day.
you're in that much pain. That's because, honey, I'm on like, let's see, 20 or at least 12 out of the 20 pills that I take are pain pills, and they're not strong pain pills, but they're pain pills. And
Yeah,
believe
I mean,
me,
I
if I
take
didn't
pain
take them, I
medication
would
and
be in bed.
I
I'd be
take
crying.
pain medication and muscle relaxers and
See,
anti-inflammatories
that's what I
daily,
take too,
several
daily.
times a day. But
Mhm.
I take it at the lowest
Dosage.
milligrammage that
Mhm.
I can. I mean, it's not the lowest that they'll
Mhm.
order.
Mhm.
It's a little bit up from that, but I mean, my doctor's always asking me, do we need to increase? Do we
Mhm.
need to go up on the milligram? Do we need to go up on the amount of pills you take? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm good for now. As long as it's manageable, I'm okay. I'm not pain
Bad when you
free,
get old.
but I'm pain manageable.
Yeah.
And so, well, I mean, if I was pain free, I'd probably be a zombie most of the day.
Yeah, and see, that's what I mean. I can't remember when the last time I felt good. And there are so
I
many of
can't
us
remember what
on
it feels
here.
like to not feel pain.
Yeah,
I can't remember
exactly.
what that feels like to not
Mhm.
hurt.
To feel normal,
Um,
I probably feel like I'd probably think I was dead if I didn't feel pain. But yeah, there's so
yeah,
many of us on here that have that same similar, situation. That's kind of what my channel I wanted to do, and I'm going to do a topic on pain and stuff like that, and
yeah.
try to get people on there to, see,
To at
hey,
least talk about it and
I'm just like
share.
you,
I
yeah, and
mean, there are different things I do for depending on the degree of pain. What is if it is it a burning stabbing pain today?
mhm,
Is it a sharp tingly
mhm,
shooting pain today? Because depending on what the pain is today will depend on what extra things I do: ice packs or heating pad,
mhm.
pain patches or the TENS unit, a massager, or I mean,
Yep. See,
and
I
I
have
have
the
all
legs
these
for
things here
circulation,
that I've
the
bought
whole
over the
work.
years.
I always
So
say I'm like in a cocoon stage and I'm trying to get it tightly wrapped up in blankets and stuff sometimes. And yeah, I'm bedridden sometimes, most of the time. And when I get good days, like today, I'm pretty good, which is shocking because we're in for storms. But I'm on, let's see, six,
Mandy,
12,
today, if you were in the States, you
19.
would pay $15,000 for the same
Oh,
thing.
wow.
That's ridiculous. It really is. I mean, we really do need universal health care. And not just normal, regular, go to the doctor health care, but dental care.
See,
There,
that's what my
there are a
son's like,
lot of
I can't
people
afford to go to the
that
doctor.
who can afford to go to a dentist. Even people with insurance can't afford a dentist. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
it's astronomical what they cost.
Yeah.
And and when you have
pour
bad
some
teeth
whiskey
or
down
what?
my throat and take a pair of pliers and pull it out. I don't care anymore.
I had to have all of mine, what
Yeah,
was left after
yeah,
the accident, I
yeah,
had to have pulled. And so I have full dentures.
yeah,
And so I was like, I don't need a dentist anymore. Well, I need to find a lab that'll make me a new set of teeth. I need to do
yeah,
that. I keep
yeah.
super gluing this one back together. But
Someday maybe we'll all be like robots or something, and we'll just have our brains or whatever. Hopefully,
yeah,
have
I
a good,
just
healthy body that's rejuvenating pill or something like off of. Um, I can't remember what that movie was. Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn was in it. Dead,
oh
like,
yeah. I know which movie you're talking about. I don't
yeah,
remember the name either.
where you just poke yourself and put the little vial of juice or something on you, and your whole body goes back to when you were younger. But
That would
yeah,
be cool.
yeah,
I don't know. Well, I say that it would be cool to have my body that I had at 20
hmm,
and the energy that I had at 20,
yeah,
but I wouldn't want to be 20 again. I
yeah.
mean, I
And
still think like I'm 20. It's just the rest of me cracks up laughing at the thought. Um,
yeah, today I asked that on Sun Scott or the Scorpio Scott.
yeah, Scott
Yeah,
Scorpio
I
Sun
can't think of
Tarot Lounge something.
Jason was on there and he was talking about past lives and stuff. And I asked him, can we reincarnate back to a certain age? You know, like if we wanted to be at 20, like you said, 20 years old and have a different body or whatever. And he that kind of shocked him a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't a really straight answer, but I assumed that you could. I mean, you could
That's
transfer
over my pay grade. I can't answer
body at
that
that
one.
age if they passed away or whatever, take over
Yeah, I
that
mean,
cell. But
I would imagine, I mean, from what I've been told and from what I understand
excuse me.
from those who are far more knowledgeable than me,
Mhm.
um, once we die, we go back to wherever it is that we all go
Mhm.
until we make a contract for the next body or the next time
Yeah.
period to come back. And then what happens to us in the next life will depend on, did we learn the lesson in a prior life?
Mhm.
Did we come back because we're here to teach something?
Yep.
Um, is our work not complete? So we have to come back to complete the work
Yeah.
that we were sitting here to do.
Do we
Um,
get to choose if we have to come back?
and
We come back. Could we just stay where we're at, or do we have to come back and do that? That would be something that
I
would be
mean,
good.
next time out, I want to come back rich.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of being poor. Let's try the other shoe now.
Yeah.
Uh,
I want to
but
come back as Johnny Depp's girlfriend, not his ex-wife either. Death Becomes Her. That's right, Mandy. That's what the movie was called. But yeah,
Death becomes her. That's right. Okay.
with Bruce Willis, Meryl Streep,
Yeah.
and Goldie Hawn. But yeah, I don't know. Money, material things never was much for me. I'd rather have a
Well,
poor guy
I'm
with
not.
a
I'm
baloney
not big
sandwich
on.
be nice to me than a rich guy that I would never see. So
I would rather. When I say I want to be rich, what I mean by that is I want to be able to pay all my bills every month.
that's exactly
Free
true.
and clear. I want to be able to pay all my bills every month. Be able to buy groceries
Mm-hmm.
and maybe have a few bucks left over to go out to eat once in a while or
Yep.
go to the movies or take a vacation.
Exactly.
Actually go somewhere.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm famous for not taking vacations because I have nowhere to go and no money to get there if I did.
I
Um,
haven't
feel
had a
like, why take
vacation
the time
probably
off if
since
I can't do
2000.
anything? And then last summer, my boss was like, "No, you need to take a vacation." He said, "You need a break."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "No, I don't. I'll take a long weekend." He's like, "No, take a whole week off. Pick a week, take it off."
Yeah.
So I did, and he was right. Even
Yeah.
though I didn't do anything, I stayed home. I vegged out, watched movies, hung out at the pool. Just
Yeah.
didn't do anything, and
Veg out and just
I
try to
I
ground
needed it.
yourself again. Find yourself. Do shadow work.
Hi, Viviani.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hi, Viviani. Hi, honey. Yeah.
Well, if anybody has questions, you can throw them in there.
No kidding.
We'll throw some
Anything you
cards
want to
on it.
ask, go ahead. I'm pretty
I
open.
meant to say that earlier.
I'm pretty open to everything, and like I said, I just want people to feel comfortable in my YouTube channel. You know, that I
Yeah,
want them to come on, and I wanted them to maybe learn something new or realize that there are people out there that are more like you than than people that come on and put on airs and stuff. It's not just.
exactly.
It's not. I'm a Dollar Tree person. I'm a poor person, but I do have a roof over my head and food in my stomach, and I'm good. I've never been a materialistic person. Today's the first day I put on.
Oh, hey, Anita. Hey, Alex. I didn't realize she was here.
Hello,
I heard
Alex.
somebody say something about the psychic dummy, and I'm like, where? I don't see her.
I have my Wicca necklace on today, just because I
actually
felt
have
like
no jewelry on today. I went to the
I'm
grocery
not a
store.
jewelry person, but today something told me to put my Wicca necklace on.
I'm always in my jewelry, my earrings, my pendants, my rings, my
Mhm.
watch. And when I went to get out the car at the grocery store, I was like, where's my watch?
Yeah,
And then I got to look at it and realized I hadn't put on a lick of jewelry. And I said, well, I guess I didn't need it today.
yeah. It's
But
something like you didn't need no jewelry today. I felt like I
I
needed.
have my tree of life
See, I have that too
crystal
sitting here
there
next
that
to me.
I
My
could wear.
Tree of Life necklace, and I have several that I use just for pendants. This one's pretty cool. The one I got a long time ago. It's the Tree of Life, and it shines light
Oh,
through
nice.
it.
Well, that one's just a clear quartz
Yeah,
with wire work on it to make the tree
yeah.
of life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one that's more like just like the pendant that you would use on a pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Yeah,
have a couple others that are just like nuggets of clear quartz
yeah.
that are designed with, to wear as a pendant if you want,
Mm-hmm.
or just put them on a chain and use them as a pendulum. I guess I'm in my eye.
Hello,
Um,
Blue Moon. Yes.
Besides my eyeball. Uh, Hi, Blue Moon. And oh goodness, now I'm gonna tear up.
Oh no.
These eyes are driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I have what they call. This is what I've been trying to raise money for, is to pay for the treatment because the insurance company won't cover it.
Uh-oh.
But I have what they call ocular high pressure.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much pressure in my eyes, which is
So
caused
like
by.
glaucoma.
I have glaucoma, beginning stages of glaucoma.
Yeah,
I have cataracts starting to form,
I do too.
and I have a double astigmatism. Plus, I'm nearsighted,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just blind as a bat. But because of the,
Watch out for Sherry driving.
especially if she doesn't have her glasses on, I walk in the walls without my glasses on. But
So you ever sit there? Sometimes I get this way, and I'm going to be honest. I get to the point where I'm sitting here and I think I'm going to lose my eyesight. I'm not going to be able to drive anymore. I'm not going to be able to. I have tremors so bad that I can't hardly. I have to hold on to a cup with two hands. And if you watch my videos, you will see me shaking. Like when I hold the card up or I'm
yeah,
subscribe. Doing stuff. But yeah, I sit and I think, what's it going to be like next year? What's it going to be like when I get older? I'm 58 years old, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, that's not too old," but yeah, I feel like I'm 100 sometimes, and it's just I can't
yeah,
imagine getting older. And I
exactly.
love movies. I love movies, and there was a movie called The Beach, and it was about people getting older. And you got on this beach, and they progressively got older by the minute, and they were losing their eyesight with glaucoma. And I'm not trying to bum you out, but I started
Oh
crying.
no, I'm sure it's coming.
My son's like, "This is a horror movie, Mom. Why are you crying?" And I said, "Because this is what's going to happen to me. I'm
Yeah,
not going to be able to see
I
to
mean,
drive or
well, and
anything."
that's it with me with the high pressure. It causes all of the tear ducts and stuff around the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It causes them to get inflamed,
Mm-hmm.
which makes them overproduce tears,
Mm-hmm.
which causes my eyes to dry up, which then causes it to produce more tears.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this vicious little wheel you're on, and it
Yeah.
won't stop
Yeah.
because every symptom feeds into the next symptom and just keeps it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new treatment to do it. It's called an OptiLight, and it's like a VR helmet looking thing that they put on you,
Yeah.
and they shoot infrared light into your eyes
Hmm.
and the skin around it.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is it brings down the inflammation, and it does some other stuff. I don't know what all. Um, but it's just got approved by the FDA. They're having great success with it, evidently.
Do
And
they
I have
put
to
you
go
out for
through,
that?
I had to go to a specialist to get tested just to
Yeah.
see if I would be eligible for the treatment. And they were like, "Yeah, you're a perfect candidate for it." But my insurance company won't cover it
Thank you, Mandy. Yeah.
because it's, my insurance company won't cover it because it's still too new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, man, what? I'm supposed to go
Experimental.
blind first before you're gonna do? So
Yeah.
it's like $1,000 to $1,000 to $1,500, depending on if it only needs 4 treatments or 6 treatments.
Wow.
Because you have to do 1 treatment every 2 weeks, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't miss. If
Mm-hmm.
you miss, then you have to start over
Mm.
because it like messes something up in the process.
See, I
So
think
that's
that
one
would
of the
be
things I've
hard.
been trying to fundraise for is
Yeah.
raising money for that.
Yeah.
And I'm right about $500 away from hitting my goal now.
Yeah.
I was $750 away, but now I'm about $500 away. So,
That's good.
people have been steadily making donations, which I greatly appreciate. And so that money's all sitting over there in PayPal,
Mm-hmm.
just waiting for me to get enough that I can go down there and say, okay, let's do this.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
now with the back stuff acting up, it's like, well, now I don't want to start the eye stuff if they're going to turn around and put me in the hospital and do a back surgery.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can't deal with all of this at once.
Yes. Yes, that's what I mean. That's hard. And it's hard for people to have to it's nice to meet you too, Blue Moon. I can't wait to watch the
I
talk.
like what
Yes.
it says. It's time for an attitude adjustment. Let's manifest some good eyes.
Good
I mean,
eyes.
I've been
There you
working
go.
on that for years. It ain't worked yet, but maybe
Yeah.
because I get really down on it.
See, and that's the only thing I really liked about myself. I have hazel eyes, so I could change the color of them, kind of. But yeah,
My late husband used to tell me that I had mood eyes.
mood
That he
eyes.
could tell my mood by the color of my eyes.
Really?
I would change colors.
Mm.
Like if they're blue, more blue, then I'm happy, feeling good. If they're green, then I'm just kind of chilled out.
Yeah.
And if they're gray, that means I'm pissed off and you better get away.
Yeah. Do you have hazel eyes too?
Yeah.
So do I. Yeah. And I've
But
never
they're
heard
more
that.
blue, and I find that the older I'm getting, the more blue they're turning.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like my hair. I mean, I was brunette all my life, dark brunette. Would have killed to have been a blonde.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't going to happen. And I colored my hair for years when the gray started coming in. And then it got to where the gray wouldn't color anymore.
Yeah.
Put the stuff in, and when they do the rinse out, all the color would rinse out. It wouldn't stick. So I just had to deal with, okay, I got gray hair. And then when I turned 60, it started turning blonde.
Mm.
I was
There
like,
you
okay.
go. Woo-hoo, you got your wish. Blonde
If
hair.
I had known I had to wait till I was 60 years old to become a blonde, I wouldn't have been so depressed. But
Yeah. See,
that's
when does it stop? When does it stop where we have to
got another subscriber.
thank you. When does it stop to the point where we have to say, I don't want to be a blonde anymore. I just want
I'm just glad I still have my hair.
I remember my mom always my hair is really thin. I remember my mom always dyeing her hair, and she was still dyeing it when she was in her 70s when she passed away. But she would never dye her. She wouldn't go out without her hair dyed, or she wouldn't go out without perfume, something that she said she would feel naked without her perfume. But
yeah. I mean, and once I got used to the idea that it wouldn't color anymore, it didn't bother me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, okay, it's the color, whatever. I
Mhm.
don't care. But I have really, really thick hair. Very, very,
Yeah.
very thick
Oh,
hair.
you're blessed.
And,
And so does my son. My son
so
has, and he
I
always
know,
donates his hair when he gets cut. And
yeah,
it's just, he must
it's
get
funny.
that
My
from
son
dad
hasn't
or
cut his
father.
hair. My son hasn't cut his hair in quite a while now, and it's actually longer than mine now.
My
And
son has real tight curly
mine
hair.
is right at
That's what
shoulder
mine's
length.
supposed to be like. But
But
he always hated his hair, curly hair, and the girls always loved it, of course. And have sexy deep brown eyes.
Alex, you have
Ooh,
deep, sexy brown eyes because
you
they were
have
made
bedroom eyes. You have Johnny Depp eyes. Those are the kinds that I talk about him a lot, by the way. But those are the kind of eyes that you get hypnotized. I mean, they just hypnotize you for some reason. Maybe it's like the vampires always had the dark eyes or something that
My
hypnotized.
husband had his eyes were so dark brown that you couldn't tell where the pupil began and ended with
Yeah.
with the colored part of the eye. It would just look solid black.
See,
And
I
they
was
were so
always
dark
attracted
brown.
by their
You had to
eyes.
be in direct sunlight for you to see the difference in the colors.
Hmm.
Um, he had beautiful eyes,
Hmm.
long lashes,
Yeah.
beautiful dark, dark, deep, dark brown eyes. My son has the same eyes his daddy had.
Yeah. So is
His,
his biological father. I call him the sperm donor. See, I'm like that too, ladies. I am a mom who at 18 met a 25-year-old man, and once he found out I was pregnant, off he went. So I was a mama by myself for 2 years before I met my husband, and
oh my goodness.
so
Well, at least he was willing to take on a family. A lot of men, that's
oh
hands down to me. That just says the caliber of man he was.
yes, my
You know,
husband, my son always called him dad, and that was the only dad he really knew. So he always knew about his father, biological father, and to this day, he still don't want nothing to do with them. He hasn't
yeah,
seen
I
him.
don't know who my biological father is. I
Yeah.
never met him. Don't know his name. My mother refused to discuss it.
I
Uh,
never
when I would ask
young.
her every now and again, I'd ask her, and she'd just get this look on her face and say, "I don't remember." And it took a while before I finally realized, okay, this is, for whatever reason, this is so painful, even after all these years,
Hmm.
that she still can't discuss it. I just quit
Yeah,
asking.
yeah,
It was like, if I need to know, I'll find out some kind of way.
yeah.
But other than that, I don't need to know. I mean, obviously, he didn't care enough to want to stick around. So
Hmm. See, that's
there
the
you
way
go.
mine was. He
I
moved
mean,
out of state. I mean, even
my
before.
late husband and I, when we, were first together, we naturally wanted children, but we were told you can't have children. He was told that he couldn't have children.
Hmm.
He was just shooting blanks. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll just, you know, adopt. There's lots of kids out there that need a family.
Hmm.
And we started talking about it, and then whammo, I got pregnant just out
Yeah,
of the blue.
yeah,
And the doctor was like, it's a 1 in a million shot,
yeah,
you know, and we never had any more. So my son's my miracle baby.
yeah.
But um,
Scorpio mama, I hope you're listening because I keep on telling her just to let it happen naturally. She's wanting a baby so bad, and
oh, yeah, when it's the right time, it
when it's
will
your right
happen.
time, yep, I said
It
that to her,
sure
and
will. And the more
she
stressed
really
you get
believes
about it, the less likely it is that it's going to happen
it. See,
because your
that's
body will,
exactly what I told her.
yeah,
Yes.
it
She gets herself stressed out about it so much, and she has stopped for a while. But
yeah,
yeah,
Native Americans have beautiful eyes.
always.
Oh my God.
And the
They have
dark hair. Oh
beautiful
my
eyes.
god! Don't
The
get me started. It's a Saturday night, and we're sitting here by ourselves talking on the internet. See, that's what I want in my channel, ladies and men. I want something like this because there's so many of us sitting here on a Saturday night, and this is our conversations. This is us being us,
just hanging out. Yeah,
yeah,
just
just hanging
hanging out.
around and talking, and
Exactly. Just hanging out and
we're
doing our
not by
thing.
ourselves anymore. We're not by ourselves. We have this
Exactly.
technology now that's amazing, and it
I
makes.
tell you, this community was a lifesaver for me because I had just lost my mom,
Yeah.
and just a few months after I lost my mom, the pandemic hit, lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I was one of the lucky ones. I was able to work from home. My boss just sent me home with a computer and said, "Here, take this home. You can
Yep.
keep doing what you're doing."
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank God for that. I don't know what we would have done if I would have lost my job. I mean, we'd have been
Yeah.
SOL, shit out of luck, you know.
Yeah. Been
and
there.
but because we weren't open, we weren't doing classes, we weren't doing anything. There really wasn't a lot of stuff for me to do. It was more just dealing with purchasing stuff and answering the phone and
Mm-hmm.
redirecting people to the right person to talk to and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And and I just got really depressed. I was really missing my mom because she and I were really close.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stumbled onto this community. I had a video from Diane's tarot
Mm-hmm.
came across my feed.
Yeah.
And I was like, political tarot? There's such a thing as political tarot that's liberal? I mean, that's what blew me away. It wasn't just that it was political tarot, but it
Mm-hmm.
was liberal political tarot. And I was like, oh my God, this is unreal. And just, I mean, I started watching her and it just snowballed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One person after another would pop up on my feed and I'd start watching them.
Yeah.
And like I said, I watched for a good solid 6 months before I ever chatted
Added on
anything.
anything?
And the first time I did it was when Lisa and Sharon had Nasty
Mm-hmm.
Women
Yeah.
Tarot Lounge. And it was one night they were talking about bras and
Mm-hmm.
bra size and how to find a good bra. And it was just, I made, it was the first time I chatted and
Mm-hmm.
I posted something very off the cuff,
Mm-hmm.
um, just being a smart ass and made both of them really laugh. And then
Yeah.
next thing I knew, I got inundated with people in the chat talking to me. I was like, oh my God, what have
Yeah.
I done? And within like a month or two, been about a month, I guess, Lisa made me a moderator. I was like, what the hell's a moderator? What am I supposed to
Mm-hmm.
do?
Yeah.
She's
Exactly.
like, just talk to Teresa TK. She'll tell you what to do. Or Sharon Site. She'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
what to do. I'm like, oh, okay. And and so then about a month or so after that, they invited me on their channel.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of their birthdays or something.
Yeah.
And they were inviting people in the chat to come on and actually be in person and say hi and hello and all
Yeah.
that. And I did. Kelly from Dozen Cats
Mm-hmm.
Tarot, she and I both same night were
Yeah.
got called on, and both of us the bug bit when we did it. Both of us were like, "This is
We
what
can
I'm
do
supposed
this.
to be doing." And
It's very intimidating when you start your own channel because you don't know if you're going to fail, if you don't know if you're going to do the right things, especially with tarot. And like I said at the start of the conversation, when you do that, you're kind of putting other people's lives in whatever. Hello, Kiva.
well, you have to. Hi, Kiba. You have to keep letting people know that
It's
this
for
is for
entertainment.
entertainment purposes
Yeah.
only. That just protects you.
Mm-hmm.
CYA, you know, cover your ass legally. Um,
But heaven
and
forbid
you just have
somebody.
to keep reminding people that this is just what I'm picking up. It's
Mhm.
not it's
Yeah.
not 100%. I
Mhm.
could be wrong.
And
I
with
could
free
be hearing
will,
it wrong,
free
or
will, that's something I always say. And I did a tarot one today, and I think I either posted it or maybe, yeah, I did. I posted it. It was a love tarot.
hi
And
Amanda.
it was just for anybody that wanted
Hi
it,
Tammy.
and took pieces of it. Hello. But yeah, I
If
did that.
anybody wants to ask a question, feel
Yep.
free to put it in. Just put it in caps so I'll see it.
But yeah, I just did that because of the fact that it's just for entertainment purpose, excuse me. But it changes within the minute because we all have free will. If I say, hey, you're going to meet somebody in about 5 minutes, you're going to walk out the door and there he is. Well, if you don't walk out the door in 5 minutes, it could totally change, you know?
Well, and it's whenever we're reading on the energy of the moment.
Yes, exactly.
What that energy is at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It could change tomorrow. It could change 5 minutes from now. It could change a month from now. Again,
Time is very hard to do too.
again, that's part of the free will thing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not everybody's going to go forward and do what you think they're going to do, or
Yes.
what your guides are telling you they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
As of this moment, this is what's probably going to happen. But then if they choose a different way or a different path,
Mm-hmm.
then that changes the whole
The
timeline.
whole
So to
thing.
speak.
Yep. Exactly. I get a lot of my messages psychically through dreams. I mean, people who have passed away have come through me in dreams. And that's what I tell people. If you want to know something about your psychic guides or whatever, all you got to do is ask them and say, please make it clear enough to where I understand and I can remember the dream.
Yeah.
And
I mean, my guides introduced themselves to me years ago through a picture in a calendar that I picked up on the local reservation when I lived in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
The cigarette store where I bought cigarettes, we went and bought them on the reservation.
Yeah.
It was cheaper, and had gotten to be friends with the guys that ran the place, that owned the store.
Mm-hmm.
And I had gone in one day to pick up a pack of cigarettes, and one of the guys that owned the place said, "Oh, hey," he saw me. He says, "We got some calendars out. It's all local artwork in the calendar, pictures or paintings or that kind of stuff." He says, "You want a calendar?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I love one." I said, "Well, how much do they cost?" He said, "No, we're not charging money. We're giving them away to encourage people to come to the art shows and stuff that we have on the reservation. They kind of give them a little glimpse of what the artwork looks like." I said, "Oh, far out. That's cool." So I brought the calendar home and I'm showing it to my mom. And as we're flipping through and I'm looking at the pictures, there's one picture that literally felt like it reached out and grabbed me by the throat.
Yeah.
And I heard in my head, "We're your guides."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
It was before I was aware of all of this. I was just starting to get back into the paranormal stuff and kind of dipping my toe in. So I didn't know what that meant. "We're your guides." I was okay. But I loved that picture. I was obsessed with that picture. And my mom snuck it out of the calendar after that month had passed. And she went and had it mounted and framed. It's a beautiful frame for me. And it sits right above my head.
Yeah.
When I'm doing this, it's like the first thing I see when I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's really cool because I have a painting that my aunt painted when my son was born. And that's exactly kind of the same thing. It gives me the meditation. And when I did the meditation video on my site, I said that if you use all your senses as much as you can, as many as you can, it helps. I mean, everything helps. You can touch the sands, you can touch the feet. If you ground yourself, you feel it underneath the ground underneath you. You put your feet down on the floor and you can close your eyes and feel it. So that's something that I suggested, through meditation. You don't have to
show you the
spend
picture.
the money. You can look at the picture. You can look at water, even water running from your faucet. You can look at and just look into the water and pretend like you're floating around on a floaty in a swimming pool or something.
I'm going to show you the picture.
I love.
Let me share screen here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jackie.
That's the picture.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's I mean, you can see faces. Somebody said they saw a dragon in the picture. Other people see horses.
I can see the
see a face right there.
There's a dog right at the top of the picture by the head.
And I mean, but mostly you can just tell, they look like chiefs or the medicine men or whatever. I mean, it just went. But whenever I first saw that picture in that calendar, and if you were here in person and I could had a good enough camera to take a picture of it,
Yeah.
way up at the top, there's like this little bitty hole where it was for the calendar plug, you know.
Yeah, the staple was.
And but those are my guides. That's how they introduced themselves to me. I don't know their names. I don't know if it's necessary for me to know their names.
Yeah.
You know,
You can see like a little body in the headpiece part, the feathers.
yeah. I mean, you can see all kinds of things in there in that picture. It's really amazing. I
I
can sit and
love
stare at
looking
it
at
for
Heather
hours.
Indigo Jaguar's pictures, and I always tell her on Facebook, I say, "Here's a picture of a dog or a woman or
Yeah,
flowers,
I
all of
love
them."
the things you tell her you see in her pictures because
Yeah.
I look at it as just colors and I love it because
Uh-huh.
it's vibrant and colorful. And
Yes.
then you come along and say, "Oh, well, look, you've got a dog here and a person here and a cat there and da da da." And I start looking and it's like, "Oh yeah,
Oh
I see it
yeah.
too."
It's one of
And
those
it's,
kind of
but I
videos.
don't see it
Like,
until somebody says that. Um, and yeah, Mandy, exactly. Um, I can see the chief. I can see what looks like maybe one of the medicine men. Looks like there's horses involved who are in spirit. Somebody said that I had showed the picture to said they saw a dragon in there. So it was like, wow, that's cool. Um, okay, we got a question. Wow. Okay.
Jack-
We're having a lot of fun, but it was like, okay, this makes like 3 shows in a row where I actually didn't do any cards at all.
yeah.
People are gonna think I quit doing this or something.
Yeah. Well, see, that's another thing. I don't want you to lose people in our psychic, our community.
I
But
mean,
there
last
is
night it was
so
me,
many of us
Colleen.
out here that's trying to do it, and new ones popping up every day. That's trying to do just the tarot readings and stuff like that. And
Right. Well, it was like last night it was me, Cleo, Cleo the Seeker, and Colleen the Cool Crone.
mhm.
And Colleen does a lot of political stuff. I mean, I do political readings too. They're just not the main thing I do, you know. But I don't have a problem doing them.
Yeah,
And and I always tell people I'm from the get go, I'm very opinionated in my
mhm.
politics.
Yeah,
So I tend to not spend a lot of time on it
that's what I
unless I'm
said
with other
too.
people that are reading because
Mhm.
I'm always worried that my opinion is going to color the reading.
Yep, I'm not
And
biased.
then
I'm not neutral.
I had someone say to me in chat one night, and I don't remember if it was my show or I was a guest on
Mhm.
somebody's show. We
Mhm.
were talking about it. And they were like, well, maybe you think the way you do because that's what spirit is telling you.
Mhm.
And I said, you know what? I never thought of it like that
Yeah,
before. So,
yeah.
um,
Well, there's so many people like Linda G, Mildor, um, Sterling, the psychic. He does political questions and stuff, and I don't do
yeah,
political, and I really, really don't tell people about medical because I'm
I
like
don't touch
you.
medical.
I can tell you how to meditate and try to alleviate pain by meditation and stuff. But as far as
The
medical,
first advice you're going to get to
either
me for
must go to a
medical is go to
doctor.
the doctor.
Go to the doctor and see what's
I can
going
tell you, okay, when my back is hurting,
on. Mm-hmm.
I do ABCD,
Mm-hmm.
and that works for me. May not work for you because what's wrong with you may not be the same thing that's wrong with me.
Exactly.
And so it's like
I
I
think
don't tell people,
come to us and ask us things that you would go to your mom and say, "How do you get rid of a headache or something?"
right,
You can ask
and
those
even
kind of
then,
questions,
it's
but
you have to be careful and preface it with,
mm-hmm.
this is just what worked for me. I'm not telling you to take this.
That's what I always say too.
I
What
watched
helps for me, and hopefully it can help
one of
you.
my favorite a cappella groups, Voice Play. They
Mm-hmm.
just dropped a new video, and then their bass singer. This man is unbelievably talented. He can go from tenor
Mm-hmm.
to bass, like below the basement
Mm-hmm.
bass. Like it amazes me.
Mm-hmm.
He just dropped a new video, a solo video yesterday,
Yeah.
and at the end of the video is he did "Man of Constant Sorrow,"
Mm-hmm.
which is a very popular song. Everybody likes that song. Um, and in the video, it shows him walking up and down the railroad tracks, and after the video was over, he came back on and said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, the railroad tracks I was walking on are no longer in use. So please don't go walking on the railroad tracks where you live unless you know for sure that they're not in use.
Yeah.
Because trains are big and powerful and you're small and squishy.
Mm-hmm.
And I nearly died laughing. I was choking so hard.
Yeah.
But that's his sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
But to have to stop and think that, okay, I need to preface it, or in post put in there, don't do what you saw me do, because I made up, I was with other people who made sure it was being done correctly, or
Yeah.
I was in an area that I made sure it was no longer an active railroad track,
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of kids out there that see something online.
Exactly. I just
They
seen
run right
something
out
on
and
the
go
news
do it.
about a kid blowing up a basketball and it blew up in his face. Overinflated the basketball and it blew up in his face and hurt his eyes, hurt his hands. Luckily he's going to recover from it, but it could have done a lot more damage because he was so close. The pressure and the stuff in the inside of the basketball. It's like, and that's what he said. It was on some TikTok video or something. Come on, give me the
How
TikTok
many kids have we
that shows
seen blow up their
advancement,
telephone because somebody
you know.
told them to put it in the microwave
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
turn the microwave on? It's like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't burn your house down.
Yeah. And it's scary. I'm glad my son grew up the way he did. He's
Thank God there was no social media when I was a
but
teenager.
yes,
I would
we've
never
done
be able to show
stupid
my
stuff
face
in
in
our
public.
lives, and technology has come way, way too far to turn back now. But
Well, it's like I was saying earlier, and I had said to my son once, I said, you realize how fortunate you are that you not only knew your great great grandmother, but you got to spend summers with her.
mm-hmm.
This was a woman born in 1898,
Mm-hmm.
covered wagons and horses,
Yeah.
and lived all the way through to the space age when she
Yeah.
died in the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
And she was 96, I think, when she passed
Yeah.
away in the 1990s. So she almost made it to 100.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you stop and think about that, the things she saw
Mm-hmm.
change
yes.
just within her lifetime is
Exactly.
remarkable.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Wow, Jackie, what a read.
what did you get? I used the angel oracle cards, daily guidance from your angels.
And I used the Work Your Light oracle cards.
There you go. I like shining.
Let's see if you can see that.
Yeah.
Work Your Light. This is a cool deck. I like this deck. I just did a card flip on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't posted it yet. I'm going through all my oracle cards right now. I'm doing little short videos of card flips so people can see all the different kind of cards. And Amanda, I never did meet the artist that painted that picture. I would have loved to have met the person, but I'm telling you, it was hi NJS55. I don't know what your real name is. I'm sorry. But thank you for coming.
Hello, NJS.
Okay. Jackie, here we go. All right. We're going to do a blow up here. Let's see. Okay. First card I pulled is called Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. And then I pulled Trust Your Path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And that came next. And then the last card I pulled of it was Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. So this is the third card. So you have a pillar of light. You are the oracle. And then you have trust your path. Spirit's telling you trust where you're going. You're the oracle. You know what direction you need to go in. And then Sisterhood of the Rose. How many sisters do you have now in this community? I mean, we're all, to me, it feels like we're all family.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all sisters. We're all together on this. We may not share blood, and some do because there really are sisters,
Mm-hmm.
but, we may not share any biological things, but we all share love and light and energy
Mm-hmm.
and our ability to want to do for others. And that's very powerful. This is wow.
I
This
think
is a really powerful pull here. This
before I
really,
talk,
I
Jackie,
hope that resonates with you, darling.
yeah, I think this kind of community that we're all in is like a therapy, except we don't have to pay $150 to go see a psychiatrist. To be honest,
Right.
we have to go see a therapist. We're here to be our own therapy, group therapy type. Okay, Jackie, I got time to go. Get up off your butt and do that YouTube channel. If I did it, you can do it, honey. No, it says the sun sets and rises each day, and it's the same with the avenues in your answers in your life. Excuse me. See the beauty within each sunset in your life. So I swear to gosh, you never sleep at all. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something about this light. There we go.
Yeah, sometimes it's really a pain in the butt trying to,
Yeah, figure out the lighting. Steady
yeah.
progress. I got steady progress for your second card, and it's go slow and you're really progressing into your job and stuff. And that's what you were a teacher, I believe, and just take your time and you're doing great work because the next card it does say let go of your past. Now I know for a fact that you are mourning your loss of your husband, honey, and
Yeah.
use that. Can you see it? Use that as a tool in your teaching. Use that love and kindness that you had with your husband in your teaching. The laughter and the joy and the things that you enjoy together. You can use that in your teaching and your kindness. I think that love is very powerful, and as a teacher's aide, you can show your love and kindness to all of your students. And that's what I mean. It's time to go and let go of your past, kind of. I'm not saying to forget your husband because my husband's been gone for 20 years now, and I still think of him every day. But
Mine's
you
been
got to
gone for
let
22
go of
years.
that feeling of loss, honey, because he's always with you and he will be always with you. So use that love that you shared together and your fun and your happiness and shine your light. I mean, that's what I mean. I think everybody has an inner light. Some people call it an aura. Some people call it for the job I put in for. Will it be better for me? Okay, that's another question. Yeah, I just think you're doing a great job, hon, and you need to get some sleep. You need to get some sleep and kind of get over that hurdle that we've all done. It's like Sherry and I was talking a little bit. Both our husbands have passed, and it's hard. It really is. And I told my husband, if anything in my life, I want to make sure that I am able to have people know that they can survive it, you know, that your world's not coming to an end, that they want us to go on and they want us to keep their memory going. And that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing of
What's so funny is my husband didn't believe in any of this stuff.
yeah.
He would have told you it's a bunch of BS,
Mm-hmm.
nonsense, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And he's not saying that anymore.
Yeah.
Now he comes through with readings, and I mean he's like jumping in. My turn, let me talk, and just it's truly amazing to me.
Mm-hmm. I think that with you, Jackie, you're like me. You do need some sleep, honey, because you're on all the time. I know you're on the United States time and stuff, and it keeps your mind off of things. But if it's like I said before, if you sleep on it and ask your husband to come to you in your dreams and stuff, he will. He'll talk to you, and it's not like he's there physically. You can't touch him really, but I usually wake up if I try to hug my husband or something. It's kind of like, excuse me, the Golden Girls had a episode one time where Blanche is always having a dream about her passed away husband. And every time she tries to hug him, he disappears. And then finally at the end, she gets to hug him, and then it's over. She's over that fear of losing him and the regret, or I can't remember the full episode, but that's what at the end, it always reminds me of that if I finally get to touch my husband.
You're welcome, Jackie. I'm glad that resonated with you.
I hope that, yeah, I'm glad that I saw my
husband. Next up, we got Kathy. The job I put in for, will it be better for me?
Okay.
All right. Well, this is while you're shuffling and doing your thing.
Okay.
I'm going to read out my cards.
Okay.
Okay. You're starting out. You've got the 8 of Swords. So you're starting out. You're already feeling burdened. You're feeling tied down. You're feeling like you can't escape where you are into something better. But then I pulled the 7 of Cups, which is showing you a lot of opportunities, a lot of, you have to be careful you don't get too much into wishful thinking, be realistic with it, but it's showing a lot of good possibilities. You've got a lot of choices there. Just don't get strung up on the illusion of what you think you want as opposed to what's available for you. And in the end, it ends with Temperance. There's a balance. Everything works out for the best. It's just a matter of seeing all the actions, all the movements for what they are, not for what you wish them to be. I think that's what Spirit's trying to say. Don't just go with wishful thinking. I mean, we all want the dream job, right? Someplace that we just love, love, love. As long as you're doing what you like to do and you've got support from the people around you, then, be grateful for that and know that that's temperance. That's temperance is balancing you out there, keeping you from missing a step, because you want to get out of this. You want to get out of this burden, this tied up, this being things not going your way. If enough of that crap, you're done with that. And now you've got your opportunities and you've got your temperance telling you it's all going to work out in the end. So I don't know if this particular job is going to be the right job for you. But what I'm feeling is that there is another job coming that is better for you. And if it's not this one that you put in for, it may be the next one. This one may be the one that provided the catalyst to get you out there and start looking at different options. And I mean, it may be the perfect one and you step right into it and it's like, oh, this is it. But if it's not, just know that it was the catalyst to get you looking and moving to find that better job that's going to be better for you. And I mean, Spirit's telling you temperance. It's going to all balance out. So I believe what they're saying here. You're going to be okay. It's going to work out. And that's right, Mandy. It's about doing the right things. And And yeah, that's what Kathy's saying. She does feel a burden where she is. I've been there. I've been in dead end jobs that I hated with every particle of my being, and I couldn't leave because for whatever reason I wasn't in a position where I could walk away from it, and just had to battle my way through it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you hold on to the fact that there is something better coming, whether if it's this one you just put in for or another one, Spirit's going to lead you to that right choice when it's time. Just keep your eyes and your heart open for it. Be willing to follow. Your gut's going to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you walk into this job or if you go in for your interview and you're sitting there and you get that sick feeling in your gut, keep looking. Don't stop there, because you don't want to go from the frying pan into the fire, as the saying goes. That doesn't get you anywhere, but just more headache.
Yes.
Hi, Jules. So, all right, Miss Lisa, you're up.
Okay, honey. What I got was steady progress. Now, the steady progress one to me says go slow a little bit and think of things that this new job that you're just put in for, is it going to be better for you? Is it got better benefits? Is it got paying higher? What is the details of it? What days you have to work? How's it going to affect your life? Now, sometimes if you get higher pay, it doesn't mean that it's going to be better for you. Um, it could be the fact that it's got you working more hours, or you've got more responsibilities, or you've got things that are going to affect your life big time. So you've got to start thinking about things like that. Hopefully you will get this job. Like Sherry said, maybe it might not be this one, or maybe it'll be one farther down the line. But
You're a
that's,
stepping stone to the next one.
yes, exactly. You need to really think about how it's going to affect your life, and stuff. The second card I got was ask. And that one just says you're doing the right job. Just ask your guides and stuff to help you and make the right choice. Um, like every morning I say a prayer to have them put me on the right path. And every time I do a reading, that's what I say too. I ask for my guides and my spirit guides and my angels, guardian angels, to put me on the right path and give me the answers that I need. And so if you ask that, they will put you on the right path, and to it. And the last card I got was the ocean, which means go by and sit and meditate on it for a while and just sit there and think. And all of these three cards connect to that. You've got to start thinking about how it's really going to affect your life. Is your kids going to be able, are you going to, I don't know if you have children, but are you going to be able to pick up your kids after work, or get them ready, cook them dinner, whatever? Is it going to be longer hours? It's going to be more things. So the main thing is to ask and go steady and slow, and you will get up to wherever you want to accomplish for sure, and get out of that dead end job that you want. Believe me, it's capable. I've been in so many dead end jobs that you just want to cry, but you're capable of doing that. I know you've got it in you, and it could take a long time. Like Mandy says, that Temperance card does take a long time before it reaches you. And so that's why I'm telling you to meditate on it, think about it, and be
Follow
great.
your gut.
Yes, exactly. Follow your gut. And the ocean card that I did draw for you, it does mean having something to do with the water. So I suggest you go by a pool, or you take a hot bubble bath and think about it, or if you have access to a beach or something, go in the
A
beach.
river, a stream.
Yes, exactly. And just lay down in the sand and enjoy the sunlight or whatever, and just meditate about it or think about it. Think real hard and do the benefits. That's what I mean. I always told my son when he went to college, I said, I would rather see you work at a desk and use your brain than you work and lose your hands and stuff, because my husband and I had done a lot of labor work. My husband actually did all of the labor, but I had jobs working at government offices and things like that. And I would rather sit and have him sit and watch at a desk job than injuring his body and stuff. So you got to weigh your benefits, honey. Take less money if it's got better benefits. That's the biggest thing. So yeah, just take your time and figure it out.
Very good.
Excuse
All
me.
right. We got another one here.
I have a yes or no question. Did I receive the correct information
about September 2023? Okay. Did I receive the correct information about September 2023?
Viviani, I'm going to use my yes and no coin that I just got in the mail.
Did Viviani receive the correct information about September 2023? Did Viviani? Yes.
That's what I got.
I'm getting a big yes. That sucker started swing, because when it goes back and forth, that's a yes.
I got a yes too, honey. And that's what my coin says, big yes. Two hands. And this is the other side that says no, but this one says yes. I got a big yes. So yes, you did.
Awesome, awesome. Well, guys, we've been here for almost 2 hours. And I got to go to the bathroom, and my stomach's growling. I haven't eaten yet today.
Yeah, she rushed from the store.
Yeah, I came flying through the door like 5 minutes before showtime and said, oh my God, oh my God, oh God. Thank you, Lisa, so much for being my guest.
Anytime.
You are welcome back anytime you would like to come on. Just say the word.
Thank you, everybody in chat, for subscribing. Yes. And
thank you all in chat for the subscriptions to Lisa, for the donations to me, for just chatting back and forth with each other and allowing us to read for you.
Yes.
That's the greatest gift of all is
yes,
being allowed to read for you. Because that way hopefully I can bring some light into whatever issue you're dealing with.
There you go.
And y'all have a wonderful weekend. It's Saturday, right?
Yes.
I get to go unload all the groceries now and do laundry. So
that's our big Saturday night on.
That's my big Saturday night. Well, what Hogalida should be on shortly. They may already be on. I don't know. Whatever. So I'll watch the rerun.
Many blessings of kindness, and shine your light on everybody, because it does make a big, big difference.
Please, please, please check out Lisa's channel. All the information's in the description box below. Go to her Facebook, and I forgot to put your Facebook link in there. I'll go.
That's okay.
Go to her Facebook page. She posts stuff with music, like our generation of music, like 60s and 70s and 80s type stuff. Which is great, because you get to listen to music and you're like, oh man, I remember that. And
I would love to try to get it on YouTube, but they monetize you so bad. So
the hoops you have to jump through to play some of that stuff.
Yes.
Is
but I will figure it out, and someday we'll be able to get the music and the movies and the things like that we all want to chat about. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of times, even in big picture movies and stuff, you'll see an unknown artist that's singing a popular song that everybody knows, not the original artist, because for whatever reason, the original artist won't give the rights for them to use their version, or if it's a low budget film, they can't afford to pay them to use their things. So
exactly. So yeah, we're gonna have to start singing like Lisa does on.
No, I can't sing. That ain't gonna happen. I want people to come back.
I'm
If
so
I
glad
sing,
you
they'll
popped in
never come
tonight,
back again.
too, Mandy. It was very
We're
nice
glad you
meeting
were
all of
here, Mandy. And I'm thankful for all of you. Thank you all
you.
so very much for being here today. I really appreciate you spending your afternoon with us
Yes, most
and
definitely.
allowing us to just chit chat. Excuse me, allowing us to just chit chat and
And bearing with us for all the
yeah,
silliness.
all the silliness.
Yes,
That's part of the fun, though. This
yes,
is
it
what I like.
is.
I love the chit chat part and
Yeah,
just sitting and
exactly.
talking. And yeah, Mandy's a good singer. She's a very good singer. And
It's just,
I got to get her on the show. We just haven't been able to come up with a time that works for both of us. But
yeah.
we'll get there, right, Mandy? We'll get there. And so y'all have a wonderful, lovely, beautiful weekend that's left. And be nice, be kind, be happy, and smile at it. Smile at somebody.
Yeah.
If you go somewhere out in public and you see somebody frowning, give them a big smile and say, "Have a great day,"
Yeah. There
and
you
just
go.
walk away. Sometimes
There
that's all
you
they
go.
need is somebody
Exactly.
to just tell them, "Have a great day." So goodbye for now, and we will see everyone whenever. I don't remember when my next show is. I'll see everybody Wednesday night.
Hmm.
Wednesday night is Sisters of the Mystical Tarot, so
There you
we'll
go.
be on Wednesday night, and
Make sure you get in there. All
yeah, we
right.
have a lot
Thank
of
you,
fun
Terry,
there.
for having me. It was
Thank
wonderful.
you again, Lisa, for coming on and being
You're
my
welcome.
guest. I really enjoyed having you with me here.
Thank you.
Like I said, you're welcome to come back anytime.
All right. Thanks.
And all right, folks, y'all have a great day.
Bye.
Bye for now.